It's the only person below White Holiday in the Comicsgate phone book. It's my favorite failed clone of Peter Sammetti. The YouTube WyzGyz. How you doing, Conrad? Welcome to the show.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to WyzGyzEntertainment. This is your host, Wyman. We are joined today by a couple of special guests here. We've got Dave P. Pot and Jimmy Reyes Art. How's it going, guys?
How you doing?
Yeah, thank you so much. It's such a privilege, man, to be up here hanging out with you. I really appreciate it.
Thanks so much for coming on. Welcome, Jay Lee. Hi, guys. How are you? Oh, you know what? It just dawned on me that I'm missing some of my promotional stuff on social media, so I'm going to go ahead and do that too. What is customary on my channel to kind of do a deeper dive and get to know the creators a little more. Mm-hmm. You do me the honor. I guess we'll start with Dave. Mm-hmm. And just briefly go into your quote-unquote origin story. What were you into when you were younger? Was it comics? Was it movies, toys, TV?
Yes.
And what were the major milestones in your life that led you to this point at which you're literally you're bringing ideas to life and creating crowdfunded books?
Yeah, I learned how to read with comic books. The very first books I ever got were comic books. I think I was probably into the Marvel, the monster line. This would be back in the 70s, so it'd be things like Werewolf by Night, Tomb of Dracula, and then also stuff like Swamp Thing from DC. But I was going to say Man-Thing, but that'd be weird to say that I was into Man-Thing when I was a kid. But I just said it anyway. So
it's more of an adult. You're more into Man-Thing as an adult.
Yeah, that's kind of that's my origin story now. No, I've always been into comic books, and when I was a kid, probably in first grade, I remember one night I sat down and took a piece of paper and folded it up, and I wrote and drew a Spider-Man comic. It was no good, but it was my first attempt.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah. As I got older, I used to sit down with Conan comics and try to draw, and just couldn't get it down. But the one thing I could do is, I remember I had Star Wars #7, and I started learning how to try to draw the logo and writing the way that they wrote in the word balloons. And I remember thinking, I can do that. So I was like, maybe I'll be a writer. And my dad was like, hey, dummy, they have somebody that actually writes the letters, so you don't have to do that part if you're a writer. Oh, okay. And then when I was a teenager, I started playing Marvel, almost like the D&D version of, but you're using Marvel superheroes.
Like the tabletop games?
Yeah, RPG. And yeah, so I was playing that quite a bit. And my one buddy was an artist, and we started just compiling the ideas into stories, and I started writing them out as a comic book. And he was like, let's do a comic book. And I was like, yeah. So I started writing all these scripts, and he didn't deliver on the art. That set a pattern, by the way, for many years to follow, where I would hook up with somebody, I would write scripts, and then I just, never went anywhere with it. When I was 19, I had a comic book published, and that was it. That was the last time I had anything done. And then years later, I met Jimmy. We started working on some projects, and life happened, and we kind of separated for a while, and we got back together, and here we are.
Match.com. That's where we found each other. It was a rocky relationship, but
yeah.
Oh my gosh! So that site really does work. Oh man.
Yeah.
It really does.
DragonRage is the baby that birthed from this relationship. So.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, that's great. So how about you, Jimmy? What is your origin story? How did you get? What were you into, and how did you get into
Well,
this point at with your crowdfunding comics?
Well, unlike Dave, I knew somebody did the lettering, and so
Yeah,
I was a step ahead of Dave. No, actually, I didn't grow up reading comic books or even drawing. I didn't start drawing until I was about 18 years old, and I started drawing. And I was about to graduate high school and needed a career, and so a buddy of mine was really big into collecting Marvel comics, Infinity Gauntlet, and Wolverine. And one afternoon, I just took a ride with him to a comic store, and that was it. I got hooked, started drawing comics, and about 6 months later, I broke into comic books, having no idea what I was doing. It was just pure luck in the 90s. If you could draw stick figures, you were hired. You know, it wasn't like I was really any good. And I started working, and it's been a long career for me. I just done comics on the side. I didn't always, it was just kind of my side thing. And I was always told I needed a job with benefits. I needed a job with a 401k, So that was what I did. But I've always loved comics, and I've been fortunate. I've gotten to work with a bunch of really cool artists. Chad Harding, Brett Booth, David Finch, John Samamarvia. I've gotten to work with a lot of people. Got to work on Ghostbusters, Avengers, and so I've worked on a lot of great properties, and I've been super excited about it. Very, very fortunate. But really, to be honest, gosh, if I knew now what it was like to create my own book, I would have gone back and just created my own book at the beginning. There's nothing like, creating your own book and campaigning and putting your own property out there. It really just makes you feel alive. It's exciting. It's scary. It's a roller coaster ride.
For sure.
Yeah.
Excuse me. No, do I have two of them? Oh, all right. You're both. We've got two of these going on. So you got DragonRage, the Second Chance campaign going.
Yeah.
It's presently funding, and it's got 28 days left.
Mm-hmm.
How long has this been going? Did you set it up as a full 60-day campaign of funding, or did you break it into 30 days?
Yeah, we started off the first campaign we launched it in October, and we said, look, we're going to do a 30-day campaign. We're going to set a goal of $6,000, and let's see what happens. By the end of that month, by the end of that campaign, we had raised almost $12,000, and we were hot. And we did the smartest thing you could do. We stopped the campaign. We said, we could keep it going. We could go in demand. Let's see how far we could go with it, or we can go ahead and stop now and start fulfilling. Let's get the ball rolling, and that's what we decided to do, because I think Jimmy and I both said, hey, look, we don't want to bite off more than we can chew. This is something that we've made a commitment and we've made a promise, so let's go ahead and deliver. And that's what we did. So we stopped the campaign. We went ahead and finished up the project. And we fulfilled 6 months after the campaign ended. We had all the comics out the door. And so we had so many people that said, wow, I really wished I could have gotten in on this. And Jimmy had this brilliant idea of, well, then let's just run a second chance campaign and put some new covers on the book, and let's add some extras. So we're adding a sneak preview of issue 2. We have some more fan art. The first run on this, we had fan art in there, and so we are currently running a contest where we're going to choose 3 more people and feature their art in the comic. But yeah, that's what the Second Chance campaign is all about. So we're starting it up now. If you notice, we're doing just a flexible goal this time, minimum, and whatever we happen to make, that's what we make. We're not really looking to set the world on fire. We just want to get the comic into people's hands.
Did I hear you right that on the first one you went with 60? 6,000 as your goal?
We went with 6,000 and we raised almost 12.
And how did you come up with that amount? I mean, is it mostly the cost of printing, shipping, and excuse me, shipping internationally, as well as setting aside some for each of you, both being creators.
Yeah, we actually, I'll be honest with you, we really didn't even think about money for us. We were thinking about the money that we would have to pay. For example, the coloring, all of the coloring is being done by Andrew Dahlhaus, with the exception of the backstory. We have a 5-page backstory that was done by Sarah Perryman, but it was all done by Andrew Dahlhaus. And we knew that him being a professional colorist, that, you know, look, we're going to pay what it takes to get it done correctly. So we knew that a lot of the money was going to go towards that, towards the printing of the comics, and for shipping. You know, that's, you know, some of it as well. And the packaging, we didn't skimp on the packaging. Jimmy and I decided that we were going to make this the best looking product we could make. So the printing, we went with a heavier stock paper, glossy paper. It's a very substantial comic when you hold it, and the packaging itself. And that's kind of what we're all about. We would rather give someone a really good experience than to put the money in our pockets. Although it would be nice to put money in our pockets too.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Yeah, we, you know, and how we came up with that number is that Dave and I said, okay, well, what would it cost to put a book together if we didn't have to pay the writer, which is Dave Philpott, and we didn't have to pay an artist, which is myself. And those are usually the highest, you know, expenses when you're putting together a comic book. And since we could do that work ourselves, and we said if we weren't going to pay ourselves a thing, what was the least amount that we needed? And so that's how we came up with the 6,000 in there. And since we raised double that amount, we faced, you know, we had a question we had to ask ourselves was, okay, so we went double. We could take something out, pay ourselves, or we could invest it into our dream and put out, you know, the best product, something that we're really proud of, and keep moving forward. And so it was a decision that we made. You know, I mean, although Dave did get that really cool hat up there, but yeah. Oh, in the polo, but look at this business on the shirt, and yeah, white collar. Look at this, the white collar creator right here.
Yeah.
Oh my god! Wow. Step
my game up a little bit.
And I feel bad. I didn't put on my merch and stuff. See how bad I am at this stuff. I'm an artist. You know.
How dare you? You should have drawn your clothes on then.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think overall what was really important to us was our backers, you know, that the backers received something that they felt that went, you know, not only did they get their value for the money they spent, and hopefully they felt that it went beyond. And just watching these unboxing videos that people are posting right now on social media is so amazing to see their faces, you know, and they're so impressed by how it was all packaged and the quality of the book. And that really was Dave Philpott up there. I mean, he spent days, hours, and weeks just really quality checking everything. And this is when his OCD really came into our advantage.
100%.
Otherwise, during the whole creation, the 6 months creating the book, it was so annoying with his OCD. But then, you know, at the end, it really paid off.
All paid off. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. So I like the smile Dave's doing. Can we get a screen capture? Because that's going on the website right there. The smile in the hat. He's that's the face right there for the merch. That's the new merch model right there.
The new merch model.
Yeah,
I can't help it, man.
We're gonna take Anna Havana off. Anna Havana was gonna be modeling our T-shirts, but instead it's gonna be Dave Philpott.
Yeah, I'll just take it and I'll do that. I'll do that knot thing you do with the T-shirt in the front where you pull it through. Make it hot.
That'll catch a lot of eyes.
It will.
Yeah, his belly button.
It is pretty hot.
Yeah, that's where the Peapot comes in. That's really his nickname, Peapot, because of the belly button.
Now, when I was a kid, that was my nickname because my last name is Philpott. And when I was a kid, people would call me Peapot. And man, I used to get so furious about it. But now I'm cool with it. Now it's like, yeah, okay, I'm Peapot.
Yeah. So did you guys also have an editor, or did you guys take that role on the book?
Yeah, we did. I as far as an editor goes, I Jimmy and I have talked about that quite a bit, and I'm as a writer, one of the most difficult things to do is to have someone take what you've done and make suggestions about it. And so it's hard for me. The one thing that I'm good at is Jimmy can attest to is I'm pretty good at finding all the typographical things. If we make a misstep somewhere, I can usually pick it out pretty quickly. And Jimmy's really good at being able to
Making
look
the
at
typos.
things. Yeah, Jimmy's great at making the typos.
I'm great at making typos.
But his superpower is being able to look at things and graphically come up with a concept that's pleasing to the eye. And so I guess the short answer is we should probably need an editor, and I would love to have someone who has experience to make sure that we are crafting the best stories that we can, because otherwise I kind of have the attitude of don't tell me what to write, even though I know I shouldn't.
Gotcha. Yeah, there's a couple I'm aware of. Piper, aka Fizzgiggity, and also Shay, aka Red Valkyrie.
Yeah.
Or Shay the Red.
Yeah, Shay the Red.
Shay the Red. Albino Thunderbuns and Todd's Truth. Todd's Truth. Joe is Albino Thunderbuns. He's editing some books, but Todd's Truth is a guy who's we're considering. But yeah, we're open to really to look at anyone who's interested in editing. It's something that we're approaching. We're getting to now because we're not just creating a comic book and put it out there. We're actually building page one comics. So we want to definitely make sure that we're doing things the right way and the best that we can.
Oh, absolutely. Let's check out this trailer here.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it was a whole crew of people that really worked on putting the book together. So we want to make sure we give them credit. It takes a team, to put together a comic book.
Oh yeah.
And learning to work with that team and trust your teammates and everyone in there.
Nice.
Yeah.
And you got Eric Withers, I saw lettering. That was going to be one of my other questions.
That was one of the things we decided we were going to upgrade. We wanted not only to work with a professional colorist, we also want to work with the best letterer that's out there. And Eric Weathers came highly recommended. And, he was price wise, he's a higher tier. And we said, well, it's worth it if as long as, he can put out the quality work. And he did. He's a wonderful guy to work with.
Super easy to work with, right? I mean, we had a couple of changes that we wanted to make last minute, and he was just down. I mean, we contacted him, and he was like, "Yeah, I can do that," and he had the changes done super quick. And I think in the end, it was just a really, really professional looking book as a result, because you can have the best art in the world and have a bad lettering job, and it will ruin the whole thing, And I think he really, really improved the aesthetic of it.
Yeah, because what's so important is really the final result is the user experience, the reader's experience in there. if you have distracting artwork or distracting lettering, it's not a good comic experience, to read.
Yep, that's true. Welcome, Sugar Chris. Hail, everyone.
Sugar Chris.
Absolutely.
That's an awesome name. What an awesome name.
If you guys haven't already, be sure and back DragonRage Second Chance campaign. It is now funding. This is as it says, it's second chance, and it's only going to be going on for 30 days. We've got literally 28 days left. So this is the time to get in on it. If you've already backed it, back it again. Back it once, back it twice, back it 3 times a lady.
We've certainly had that too, man. We've had some people that have contacted me that said, look, I already backed this thing once, but I want to back it again. They like the covers. They just like the experience, and it's, we let me see if I've got one handy here. I've got just an example of the type of packaging. This is, this is the mailer we put out. And when you get it, we have, we're sending them out in Gemini mailers, and we have a really nice little branding here on our on the mailers and stuff. And we throw in little extras too. The cool thing is that you could maybe place an order for a particular cover, and you might find 2 comics in your box.
Oh my God.
And we're all about throwing in the little extra stuff, stickers, posters, you name it. And that's kind of what we're all about is giving people. What the mantra we have is under promise, over deliver, and that's what we're trying to do.
Absolutely.
What I love to see, I'm so impressed by the response that we got. We officially launched yesterday on May 3rd, but we did a soft launch 2 hours early, and the book was funded before May 3rd. It funded right away. And then we got people that are tweeting out, hey, I backed it this time around. I missed it the first time, and I'm not letting that happen again, Yeah. And we're starting to see that as a trend. People are really popping in. David Finch promoting the book. Clayton Barton on howtodrawcomics.net. They're promoting the book. Adam Lawson from the Kill Journal. Like all these guys who've got great properties and great projects themselves are so impressed by the book, and they're really helping us out and really promoting our stuff. And it's so amazing the love that we're getting and support.
It really is. The community is amazing. Andrew Mangum, who's a DC artist, contacted me, and he said, look, man, he goes, I backed the first one. He goes, I'm gonna back the second one because I believe in what you're doing. And what a sweetheart of a guy. He's just a really good dude. And he contacted me today to let me know that. So I think that's really cool.
Yeah, and everyone is sharing this with the people they know. They're spreading the word out. They're really satisfied and happy with what we've put out there. We had a review from Sparks Comics. Sparks Comics does reviews. We also have another company channel out there. It's two fat guys reviews or something. And so you got people that are reviewing it. Caroline Comics, she's reviewed it. And it's so cool to get this genuine review and get feedback on the book, and just to see people going, I like this, I want more,
Yeah, indeed. The trailer, did you guys create it yourself?
Yes.
Oh,
everything is in-house. We do everything ourselves. All the marketing, all the graphics, all the video, all the multimedia stuff. Yeah, it's all in-house.
It's pretty cool. I like the special effects. And what style of music is that? It almost felt Celtic.
It's Celtic, yes.
All right. That way. All right.
Celtic medieval fantasy feel to it. Yeah, but it's Celtic. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really nice addition. And how did you guys come up with Page One Comics?
We argued. No, we had that's the truth, man. We had a couple of it when we first started. We had a couple of projects that we wanted to get going, and we had another writer artist team on board, and we were trying to come up with a catchy name. And I mean, for a brief second, we were almost Drama Kings. I mean,
that's true story. Go to dramakings.com. It'll take you. We're almost there.
And the reason, and I was the one that proposed that because we were arguing so much about the damn name. And I was just like, we're like a bunch of drama kings. That's what we're going with. But as usual, I got to say, one of the other superpowers that Reyes has down there is that he comes up with the best names for stuff. It's like the names are super inspiring, and it kind of like captures the vibe of what we're trying to do. As a writer, I'm not always good at doing that, and I'm kind of jealous of it. But he at the last second stepped in and said, "You know what, guys, this is going to be page 1." And I went, "Well, yeah, that's awesome." And that's where we are. We're page 1.
So towards the end, before you finalize on that, did one of you say page 1 and the other was going to go, we should be page 2 comics?
It was kind of like, yeah. I mean, that was literally where we were at the time. I mean, everything was kind of a struggle to move forward. And I don't think it was so much because it was, I think everybody had a different vision of what it needed to be. And in the end, I think we are kind of better off with just Jimmy and myself. You know, we tend to think a lot alike, and we agree on a lot of things, and the things that we don't necessarily agree on right away, I think we appreciate each other's outlook, and we respect it enough to where, you know, we make concessions and we roll with it. And in the end, we realize, hey, this, you know, it's a good product.
That and hashing out your differences with Turkish oil wrestling.
A little bit. I mean, if it comes down to that, sometimes that's what we got to do. Thankfully, we're both about the same height, so
yeah, fair fight. Fair fight.
Yeah. What is your guys' working relationship like in terms of? So you come up with a story. Do you like deliver to Jimmy a couple pages at a time, or do you like a whole chapter? How detailed do you get, or do you leave a lot to the imagination for him to just go wild?
I'm going to let him add to it, but I'll tell you that depending on what I have going on when I write, I usually nail down an entire script. I can usually come up with an entire concept pretty quickly. Once I get an idea, I'm pretty quick at building on it and making things happen. So when I deliver to Jimmy, usually we talk about some ideas, and I think for the most part, I just end up surprising him. I'll, drop an entire script on him. Here it is. Here's the story. And, what will happen is inevitably at about 3 o'clock in the morning, I'll get a phone call and Jimmy will say, "Hey, you know what? I think the entire story is great, except for dragons. It's going to be grizzly bears." And then I got to go, okay, so it's going to be, grizzly bear rage. And then I got to sit down and rewrite everything. But, that's the way we work.
Yeah, it's true. He's not exaggerating. I've called and texted him at 3 in the morning, and he gets up like 5 in the morning to go to work, and I'm here, living the artist life where I pretty much I have an erratic sleep schedule, so some nights I'm up at 3, some nights I'm in bed by 3, and I just assume the world works that way.
Jay Lee says, looking forward to reading it.
Yeah, awesome. We're looking forward to you reading it.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I'd love to hear I love to hear what people that get it in their hands, what they think of the story.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, I think I missed out. I'm pretty sure I missed out on the first run, so I'm going to have to back at this go around before it ends. Speaking of,
you have 29 days, 4 hours and 43 minutes.
Yeah, I like the countdown on it. I think it's pretty neat.
Yeah, it's actually, I think, 28 days now. I think that timer is just because I'm in a different time zone than where he actually started the campaign. I'm actually running the timer, and so it's just a slight little difference in it, but I think because we actually manually shut it down, so that timer that's right there that you see, we can actually follow that.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, 29 days left, and you asked earlier if this was our first or second 30 days, and it's our first 30 days. Campaign's only been active since May 3rd, yesterday, and it's only going to be active for 30 days. Because we're not here to try to make this huge amount. We just want to give people the opportunity who didn't have an opportunity to get it the first time to come in. And basically, we're just taking orders for the book. The book's completed. Just come in, place your order. When it's done, we're going to send it off to the printer, and we're going to, go into fulfillment again.
Mm-hmm. Did you? Oh, okay. All right. So these copies are going to be like the second printings. Mm-hmm. So they'll have different covers, and
That's
it'll
right.
indicate somewhere in the inside second edition or second print.
Yeah, all new covers. David Finch came back, did another cover for us.
Ooh, nice.
And he said, I want to draw that guy with the dragon arms. And I said, his name is Drago. And he's like, yeah, that guy. I want to draw that one. And he he did an amazing job drawing the character, and he actually pronounced the name pretty well. He rolled
Yeah,
his.
he didn't call him Lego or anything like that.
Yeah. And Phil Pot up here still calls him Trago, but you gotta let some things slide.
Yeah.
Calls him Danny Trejo.
Yeah, that's what I keep calling him. Machete.
Do you guys plan on? Speaking of DragonRage, are you guys looking to turn this into an ongoing series, or is this a finite number of volumes, and then you're going to go into another IP or property?
We have some ideas. I mean, obviously the goal here is to run enough issues to collect it into a trade paperback, and that's what we want to do. So I've already got the first story arc pretty much planned out. We have other ideas. Jimmy and I together are really just like an idea machine. I mean, it's crazy. We can just throw a couple of sentences around and come up with ideas all day. And it's amazing to be with another person who's creative and has the ability to draw, because I can't. And I have the ability to take his ideas and turn them into worlds. And so both of us together, I mean, I promise you, we could come up with comic book ideas, movie ideas, television ideas all day long. And so the only thing stopping us right now is, one, the fact that I have a full-time job and that I can't sit around and create all day. But two, really just the funding, the I guess, ability to sit down and just commit to it and do it. When we first met back in 2002, I think we weren't able to use digital resources, the internet and things like that, to our advantage. And these days now, he's in Texas, I'm in Virginia Beach, and we might as well be next door to each other,
Nice. And yeah, it's important to reiterate, this is 100% completed. It's full color, an ongoing comic series with 36 interior pages. It features a 5-page backstory.
Yeah.
This is going to be the second run. And, you can tell just by looking at the campaign that it's got wicked art. It's, of course, it involves dragons, so it's going to be cool. Got all these fiery effects. Jimmy, are you traditional or digital? Or both?
Well, originally I learned how to draw traditional, and I worked in the comic industry as a traditional inker. But then I decided I wanted to keep up. Everything's going digital, and I want to be relevant in the future. So I transitioned, and I'm now completely digital. I still ink a little bit here and there. I still work with Dave Finch from time to time. We just did a cover for a book called Radiant Black for Kyle Higgins through Image Comics, and I inked him totally digital on that. And I don't think anybody was even aware that it was digital inks.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, the digital is really advancing quite a bit.
It sure is.
I do both, too. I tend to write with pencil, and then sometimes I'll type on the computer. So I do a little bit of both.
Still breaks out the old typewriter? You still got the analog?
Yeah. The one with the giant keys on
it? Yeah, click, click, click.
Punch.
So DragonRage does feature art from two different artists. We found a newcomer from the school of Dave Finch. Dave Finch offers online courses, and artist Jazz Singh took those courses. And Dave sent me over some of Jazz Singh's assignments that he completed. And I instantly just said, wow, I could recognize this guy is really, really talented. Very young artist, very, very rough right now around the edges, but just super talented, a lot of potential. So we brought him in, and he and I both have like a similar style. So people really haven't been able to tell the difference between the two art styles. It's not too dramatic. So we're able to bring him in, and he blends right in with us.
So do you break up the duties? Like one of you does roughs and the other does a fine revisions? And
well, when we brought him in, issue 1, I was already almost finished with the book. I just had 3 pages left to draw. So when we brought him in, I said, hey, I got 3 pages left to draw. Would you like to try drawing these pages? And he did a great job. He said, yeah, he tackled the pages and he did a great job. So next issue, he and I are going to start on opposite ends. I'm going to draw page 1 through 15. He's going at the end, and we're gonna, meet through it and hopefully get issue 2 done faster than I did issue 1.
That's gonna be a trip.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, and as you can see there, that was an advertisement showing that we're already started on issue 2.
Yeah.
And issue 2 already has a title. I'm not sure if Dave's released it or announced it yet, the title, but I did send you over the artwork. I DM'd you some of that early artwork to you, the WyzGyz DM of what the new title is. I'm not sure if Dave wanted to release that here.
We'll go ahead and give you an exclusive. This is the first time anybody's heard it. So the issue number 2 is called The Bloody Fate of Kings. And I'm going to write it exactly the way that Jimmy said that they're going to draw it. I'm going to write page 1 and then go to the end and then write the last page and then come back and do page 2 and then get. So I'm gonna write it the same way they're going to draw it, and we'll see how it turns out.
That's going to be interesting.
Yeah. So issue 1 is DragonRage: A Cradle of Embers. And that's where we're introduced to the characters into this world. And you get to see that it's not just Nuri who has the ability to become a dragon. You got Thrago, and there's a whole kingdom and a whole different group of people. We get to meet Thrago's father in a very unique way. We get to find out that he's got a very strange relationship with his father, and his father is not what you expect. And it's so neat, and the story is it's not overly complex where you won't really get it, but it's got layers to it. It's definitely an onion, but it's a good onion.
Yeah.
It's a good onion.
Yeah.
I love onions. So that works out well. Let me see something here. So I wanted to check out. Let's see. We got every backer gets a free bookmark.
Yeah, David Finch artwork on the bookmark. Dave and I have become known for giving stuff away. We did that on the first campaign. We're gonna keep that going. We're gonna keep that tradition going. Nice. So we give a lot of stuff away. Our backers, they even if they came in, they bought a $25 comic book, and then shipping, if it's international, could be about $20. And so we felt that it would be a good thing for us to just throw in extra stuff at random. We took about an extra 100 comic books and just randomly put them into orders. So people got 2 books instead of the one they ordered, or they got extra buttons, extra stickers, posters, and prints. So we just started filling in the extra stuff that we had, and just, it's better in the hands of our readers and our backers than taking up room there in Dave's garage,
Exactly, man. And some of it wasn't even comic books. Some of it was just like books off the shelf over there.
An unmatched sock or something. Yeah.
Yep.
Scraps of toilet paper.
Whatever I had laying around, rubber bands.
Yeah.
I mean, I got all kinds of stuff on my table up here. I
got
a cat that I'm trying to get rid of.
Good thing the cat survived the shipping, eh?
Yeah.
And let's see here. So, and then you go into the second chance, what we need, what you get, risks and challenges, other ways to help. And then you have a little notes, Sparks Notes, DragonRage, Cradle of Embers, #1 comic review. Yeah. Oh, all right. That's the one you mentioned.
Yeah.
These guys, guy and girl, it's a team. And we sent them out the comic. We didn't know who they were or anything. And they did a review, and thank God it was such a positive review. They loved it. They're so big. I had no idea that when we sent them out the comic book to review, that they were so big into fantasy. I didn't know that. So the fact that we got the approval of somebody so deep into the D&D world and magic, and they love all this, fantasy realm, for them to go, we love this comic book. I felt like wow, we did something that, even though our book is nothing like any other dragon book out there.
Yeah, it's and you're right about that. It's not really even. I mean, there is some fantasy element to it from the idea of like Dungeons and Dragons, but it's not like. There are some stories and things you can obviously tell that the creators are gamers, and I purposely tried to stay away from that. Some of the elements I thought it was kind of funny that when I was watching their review, some of the things that they were talking about, they were assuming, for example, that there would be magic users and things like that popping up in the story. But I think some people are going to be really pleasantly surprised by how the story turns, you know, in the direction that we take it.
Awesome, awesome. Let's check out the tiers real quick. I always enjoy when there's a feature tier from a creator, because it's kind of like depending on how you work it. Sometimes it's not always the cheapest tier, it's not always the most expensive, but from what I've seen, it's usually somewhere in the middle. And sometimes you get extra little tchotchkes with it, swag. But in this case, it looks like an exclusive cover from Jazz Sing. That's that new up-and-coming artist, right?
Yeah, we started a tradition right off the bat with the first campaign. We offered an exclusive cover. And what an exclusive cover means is that we're not going to reprint that cover. We offer that cover throughout the campaign. Buy as many as you want. Once that campaign has ended, it goes in the vault. We go the Disney route. It's unlike Disney, though. We're not going to bring it back out 20, 30 years later. That's it. And what we offered in campaign 1 was a David Finch exclusive cover. And that one ended. And so the people that got that book got a very, very special, unique thing, because it is the David Finch cover that has the lowest print run and was the most unique. You know, it didn't go out in mainstream in stores. So for Dave Finch fans, it's the rarest cover to try to find.
Holy cow.
People are already selling it on eBay. You know, I found one on eBay the other night. I went, whoa, this is so neat. People
That's awesome.
are already, yeah.
Okay, it was me. I'm not going to lie, it was me.
I know, right? It's me.
Yeah.
And so we want to continue that. Every campaign, we want to offer something very unique, something that's very special to our backers, that they know that it was special per campaign. And so in this campaign, it's going to be the Jazz Sing's first cover ever that he's ever done.
Wow, that's a milestone.
Yeah.
And then yours is the variant cover.
Yes. Yeah. And mine's the entry level. You know, for those that aren't really sure, they don't want to spend, you know, the $25 on the comic. So we bump the price down a little bit and get people, you know, a chance to try it. You know, it's less of a risk. You know, try it for them, see if they like it.
Yep.
I mean, I'm very certain they're going to love it. You know, and so that's the reason for that right there.
All right, cool. Mana Nui says hi. How's it going?
Hey, Mana, how's it going?
Print combo pack. So you got, let's see, you got 4 covers. You got the Jazz Sing, you got yours, and a couple more.
They're 11 by 17 prints.
Oh, these are all the prints. Okay.
They're posters.
All right. How big are they? Oh, 11 by
17, full color, really high quality posters. Wow. Jimmy also on the Page One website, he recently did a video about these $5 frames that he found that are perfect. I went and picked a couple of them up the other day, and they fit perfectly, and they do exactly what they need to do to show off these prints.
Yeah. Yeah, they're actually up there behind me, up on that little up there behind me on the wall, and up there you can see I framed them. They're the actual prints, and we have them the video featured on Page One Comics YouTube channel. And
check that out.
And Page One Comics just hit 10,000 subscribers on our YouTube channel.
Damn.
Yeah, the interest in DragonRage is growing. I mean, it's starting to build. You know, we're just so grateful for it and excited.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
Jimmy, I feel like I have to stop the program for just a second to tell you that my wife just snatched the handle off of the refrigerator. She is really a brute, and she was holding it threateningly, so I don't know if she's going to come in here and bash my head in with it or what. Jimmy knows that my wife's kind of tough, so yeah. She's
also our financial officer.
She's our financial officer, so maybe
Yeah, she's on the business end.
I wonder if that's her way of telling us we got to stop spending for a minute.
Yeah, she's tough on us. She makes sure the money goes where it's supposed to, you know.
There you go. You need to have some control over it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, she's been in the banking industry for, over 20 years. So I figured if she doesn't know what to do with the money, then we're all in trouble.
And that's one of the things that works so well. Earlier, you asked about the relationship between the two business partners, and with the reason that it works so well, not only because we both get along and we both agree he's got to get rid of that cat, but no, the thing is that I'm very creative. I'm very into marketing. I love the sales part of it. Dave Philpott is definitely very structured and he's very business oriented. So he's handling the business and all the paperwork, all the logistics and everything, on there, the fulfillment part, because he's got OCD. He's the perfect person to fulfill a campaign. And I'm just outgoing, funny, I'm all over the place. I'm the typical artist, and so I love multimedia. I designed all the, all the graphics and the video that you saw and the special effects and everything. So we just between the two of us, it's amazing how much ground we can cover.
You guys are the odd couple, basically.
Yeah, we really are.
Well, we are odd. That's true. Hey, Hex Allen, what's up, buddy?
Hex Allen.
Yeah, he. I think he backed us already too. I think I saw him up there. He's a good
right.
guy. He's got a project going as well.
Yep.
Yeah, Anna backed his project too. So
yeah,
Nephilim Squadron.
Nephilim Squadron. Anna's so excited about it. Yeah.
Then we've got. I know you guys are strapped for time, so I'll cruise through these other ones. We got the David Finch cover going on at 25. We got the Jazz Sing variant. How does this differ? It's a variant. All right. So he not only did a cover, a main featured cover, but he did a variant as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, both he and Dave Finch said, I've got to draw that guy with the dragon arms, And they did. They both each wanted to draw one. So I said, okay, we'll put them both up there. I can't deny them. They're both so talented. So
nice. And then you've got the Golden Dragon pack. What's this in here?
Everything.
All 4 covers and all 4 prints.
You got it.
And it's our most popular tier. Even though it says 0 on there, we had to make some adjustments to it. So we had to start it over.
Right.
But it's actually a very popular tier.
Mm-hmm.
And so that seems to be what everybody's going for.
Gotcha. Yeah. And then you got an original sketch by Jazz. Not final art. So how big is this going to be?
It's on a sketch cover. It's the actual comic book that we actually print Strathmore cardstock on the cover. So it has the logo printed and the trade dressing printed on it. And these just went up on there, and already one is gone.
Yeah, so when I put the tiers up this morning, and I want to say it was probably 5 minutes after we announced that they were up that yours sold, Jimmy.
Wow.
Sweet.
Yeah. So and Jazz Sing's already sketching some stuff out for his cover. He's already getting started on it. So whoever gets it, this is the first time you're going to have a Jazz Sing. And he's going to be big, so you're going to have Jazz's first work. It's just going to be amazing.
What a trip! Now, is Jazz also traditional and digital?
Yeah, he's both traditional and digital.
Pretty sweet. Looks like a really good campaign. Was it? Do I have your permission to show you display the images that you shared with me in Twitter?
Yeah, absolutely. One of them is the preview of the upcoming book, the logo and the cover art. Yeah, so it's pretty neat. I love the titles that Dave comes up with, man. I just think they're so cool. Oh, so this is actually a panel from issue number 1.
Okay.
This is actually, it's not a cover or pinup or anything like that. It's actually one of the panels.
Nice.
So we have the hyper detailed artwork. Jazz and I are both. We're sick, man. We can't stop going in there and doing all the detail. We're addicted.
I love highly detailed work.
Yeah, and this is that's actually the artwork I sent you for the thumbnail. I didn't know if you wanted something for the thumbnail for that. And that's kind of the one that we're kind of keeping a uniform look so people recognize, Thrago is kind of becoming our Mickey Mouse. He's kind of our he's our Golden Arches or something.
Yeah, he is.
Oh boy.
So this is actually the cover to issue number 2. There's going to be multiple covers. but this is actually one of the covers, and this is kind of a cropped version of it. And as you notice, DragonRage logo always stays the same, but the title of the stories is going to change in that little engraving on that metal bar.
Yeah.
Awesome. That's real cool stuff. It's looking good.
Yeah, we get to see Drago go head to head with a dragon. So,
ooh, nice.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Indeed. Yeah, so any of you who have not yet backed, be sure and do so. I want to remove that one and go back to this.
Yeah. And thank you to anybody who, you guys who are planning on in the future. If you guys watch this at a later time, once it's recorded and archived, if you didn't get to thank you personally live, but if you guys back in, you come on our stream and you give our backer number, we give you guys a personal shout out on our stream. Or if you tag us on Twitter and social media, we're going to give you guys a personal thank you. So we are so grateful to every backer, no matter what tier you back. We really appreciate it.
I mean, even just the people in the last campaign that we did, we had a really funny little $5 contribution you could make. It was called, Feed the Dragon, and you could run $5 through it, and then you could, text us over, or you could, put in the comments the name of the person you wanted to feed to a dragon, and we we might have to set that one up again. But
we got to do that again.
Yeah, exactly. You just contribute $5. We really appreciate everything that we do. Because look, in the end, as you can see, we're really taking all that money and just putting it right back into page one and putting it right back into making sure that we can deliver a better product for everyone. Because that's really what we want to do.
There you go.
Yeah.
So you're at 2841 so far. You gained another backer. You're at 53.
Right.
So pretty sweet. For anyone who hasn't yet backed the campaign, if you haven't, if you already have, go ahead and back it again. Why don't you?
Yeah.
Back it once, back it twice, back it 3 times a lady. If by chance you haven't the means to do so, please share it all over social media. Let's get the word out and get more eyeballs on this. Awesome. And before we close out, I know you guys have to get going because you got a packed schedule ahead.
Yeah.
I'm going to give Dave the floor and share with the world how you can be found on social media.
Well, we're on Twitter, and we are on. I don't even know if we're on Instagram. We have a Facebook page. Obviously, page1.com. Or page1comics.com, I apologize, would be the primary place to find us. And from there, you can find just about anything. It links to our campaign. It links to all of our social media, our email addresses. And it's also a good place to get resources on what we're doing. We have a blog there, and we update it pretty frequently. And we just talk about all the different projects we have. So that would probably be your best source. Go to page1comics.com, all spelled out, no numbers in there or anything.
Oh, cool. And Jimmy, you got the floor.
You don't want to give me control of your channel here. No, yeah, thank you so much to everybody. If you go over to Page One Comics YouTube channel, we also have tutorials where we share insights on tips, techniques, things that I've used on how to ink comic books, both traditionally, digitally. We're now sharing campaign information, what we've learned running our campaign, publishing tips. So we've got all that kind of thing. Plus every Saturday, you guys come on and we'll promote you. We either will promote like your channel, WyzGyz, you've been over in ours, and we'll promote indie creators. So we spotlight other indie creators. So Page One Comics isn't about us. It's about the comic book industry. It's about other creators. It's about you, the viewers. And that's really what we're doing here at Page One Comics.
Sweet.
So yeah, thank you. Oh, and right there it says Jimmy Reyes Art. That's me on Twitter. But beware, you don't want to follow me down the rabbit hole. So yeah.
Right on. Well, you all know how to find me. So if you don't, check out the stream description for all the deets, and or check out one of my other streams. Want to thank everyone in the chat for being here. You guys are freaking awesome. Thanks to everyone who watches this on replay, and thanks to our very special guests, Jimmy and Dave. Take it easy, y'all. Have a good night. See you in the next stream.
Thank you. Appreciate it, guys.
final guest that is the only person below White Holiday in the Comicsgate phone book. It's my favorite failed clone of Peter Sameti. The YouTube WyzGyz. How you doing, Conrad? Welcome to the show.